shadow, the shadow, the shadow, the shadow, the shadow, the shadow. Round one.
What's up, ACF? We're here with Steel Ranger. So Steel Ranger, what's your fighting background and where did you learn to fight?
So I didn't really learn to fight anywhere, besides looking at tutorials on YouTube. I mostly looked at like military takedowns, jiu-jitsu, anything that involved like holds and throws. Other than that, I have taken like at least 1 year of Taekwondo when I was still living in Edgewater.
Okay, nice. Yeah, you are very, very good on the ground. Your ground game is magnificent. You've now choked out the Shadow twice.
Right.
So yeah, your submission game and your ground game is phenomenal. I like it.
Awesome. Thank you. I always try to figure out new ways on holds. Because I know the rear naked chokehold is a very basic MMA takedown. Especially, it's also a very basic chokehold. Very effective, but it's one of the, as far as I know, it's like one of the easiest holds to get into. Arm bars, leg locks, those I still have a struggle with. So I usually go for the easiest part, which is around the neck.
Yeah.
Because it's a quicker way to get a submission.
Yeah, it is.
Because if they don't tap, then they pass out. No. As far as to me, and this also goes into how I prefer to fight.
Yeah.
Because with using submissions and holds and such, it can be very dangerous, but it can also be very passive way to take someone out.
Yes, it can.
Because it can also, because if done right, it can also reduce the amount of damage that is needed.
Yeah, it can. Most definitely. And so how often, or I'm sorry, how long have you been training for?
Honestly, I've been training for holds for quite a while. I'm not perfect with them. Otherwise I'd be getting them like right on the fly.
Yeah.
But after the Shadow told me about ACF, that's when I really started looking into holds again to kind of get a refresher on what I can do.
Okay.
And what I can't do.
And how do you feel about your experience with ACF?
It's definitely been one heck of a ride. For one, it gives me an opportunity of what I've never experienced before. And I've told you off camera as well, that for a while between me and the machine, we never really had any confidence in ourselves. We didn't know how we would hold up in an actual fight scenario. And with ACF, it actually did build our confidence. Whether we won or lost, just like in one of the YouTube videos of the hybrid match.
Yes.
I watched that again, as well as looked at the comments, and for the most part, the comments were pretty correct on it. We can't really throw that well of a punch, but for me, it wasn't just just to throw a punch. It was to help build our confidence on what we can do.
Exactly.
It really helped us see that we can actually stand our ground, and hold our own in a fight, even if it's against higher odds.
Yeah, and talking about that fight, y'all stepped up and fought outside of your experience level.
We very much did, yeah.
And also, one of the competitors, Beautiful Savage, was also out of y'all's weight class as well. So y'all really stepped up and stepped up to the plate.
After the incident with what was going on at that time, we knew we got there. Everyone else was there. They came for a match, and due to unfortunate circumstances, we didn't want to waste anybody's time.
Yeah.
So me and the machine decided we would go through with it. We definitely knew if we were not going to win it, but we didn't want to waste anybody's time by just coming over there and doing nothing.
And I appreciate y'all stepping up. I really do. Y'all really helped us out. And like I said,
congrats on the views on that, by the way.
I appreciate that.
That is the highest amount of views I've ever seen on that.
It is. Right now it's at 3.1 thousand views in 3 weeks. Yeah, it's doing well. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for stepping up to the plate and going up against those two.
There was no problem at all. It hurt, but it was a fun experience. I mean, it definitely took us out of our comfort zone, and definitely put us in a situation we've never been into before.
And so how often a week would you say that you train?
Not as much as I should. I'll be honest. For a while I was in a routine.
Yeah.
But I kind of faded away from my routine because usually I would go out and do a run. Usually it would be up to 1.5 miles under 15 minutes.
Okay.
I would occasionally have the machine come outside with me. We would practice throwing punches, jabs, uppercuts. It didn't show very well in that hybrid match, but I mean, we do practice it. We did practice it every once in a while, just to make sure we can get something in.
Yeah.
And we could land some kind of hit.
And so you're 2-2 now.
Yes.
Would you plan or would you be interested in coming out for a title fight in your weight class sometime this year or next year?
I don't think I'll be going for any of the title matches. I've still got a lot to learn on combat.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure that grappling and holds, there's no way that's gonna be enough.
Yeah.
Plus, with me being 2-2, I think that's a pretty good place for me to like draw the line for now. I'm pretty comfortable with the scores being evened out. It gives me a better perspective on if I want to continue this or not.
Okay. And I totally respect your answer. And like I said off camera to you before, if you are interested in coming back out, just let me know. You have my number. Just text me and just let me know. And same with.
I'd be more than happy to be one of the audience.
Yeah, anytime. And that goes the same with Machine as well. All right.
I believe the Machine is wanting to give his last hurrah as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, because after the hybrid match, after the third one, that's usually where I draw a line for when I'm trying to experience something. Because a lot of this with ACF, it's a great opportunity to really test your mettle, and usually I draw it at 3, but I was convinced that if I were to just stop right there, it honestly wouldn't look good for me.
Yeah.
So me and the Machine we're wanting to give one last hurrah.
Okay.
Like go out with a bang.
Exactly. And with you went out on a win. So that's great. I'm glad that you were able to go out on a win.
I'm pretty glad with that as well. It evens the score.
It does. And that's good. All right. Thank you, ACF. This was our interview with Steel Ranger.
Yep. Take care. And I hope the the channel grows.
Me too. Thank you. What's up, ACF? We're here with the Shadow. Now, Shadow, what type of training did you do to prepare for your fight?
A little bit of cardio, working on my defense, offense combos. Make me. Just making sure I can get that impact and outsmart my enemy. Yeah.
And do you think your training helped you in your fight today?
Yes, most definitely, yeah.
And honestly, I think it did as well.
Yes.
I think this was honestly your best fight you've had since you've started.
So too, yeah.
Go ahead.
I did really good with my defense, keeping my guard up. Using my reach against my opponent. Back up, got out of there when I felt like I needed to, and then just came back offensively.
Yeah, you definitely got a little bit better defensively, and you definitely got better with offensively as well, and you definitely went more offensively this time, which I liked.
Yes.
You scored a takedown in the first round, and judges actually gave you the first round. Unfortunately, you ended up losing due to submission in the second round. But you did a great job. You really did.
Yes.
What advice could you give someone who is interested in coming out to compete?
Just make sure you always keep your guard up, because the more damage you take, the harder it's gonna be for you to physically fight and throw punches, and I would say try to go for stuff like ribs, ribs and body shots to weaken them when we get a chance, and then when they get an opening, that's when you go for the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And would you say that cardio is important as well?
Yes, most definitely.
Like I've said to other people in interviews, 6 minutes does not seem like a very long time, but if you don't have any cardio, 6 minutes is a very long time when you're boxing or fighting.
Yeah.
So, do you plan on coming back out to fight again with us?
Yes.
You do? So I know we've been talking a little bit off camera. Would you be willing to have your next fight August 7th? Saturday, August 7th?
I kind of feel like I need at least 1 week to recover.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem.
He did get me good in the lip too. So
yeah, I only asked because I know we were talking about it, and you said you may have been interested in coming back out next weekend. So figured I'd ask. How would you say your experience was with ACF since you've been with us?
I would say better, because like I said, with my first fight, I took I would say I definitely took a hard L, but that's probably because I've never fought in my life. I didn't know how to throw punches. I didn't know how to defend myself, but now I'm better. I'm more confident at it.
And you're getting more experienced as well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that that this experience has helped you.
Yes.
And that you've been having fun coming out and fighting as well. Did you have anything else to say? Or any questions? No? All right. Thank you, ACF. This was our interview with The Shadow. What's up, ACF? We're here with D, doing a little interview today. So D, what's your fighting background and where did you learn to fight?
It was a while ago. I learned to fight when I was about 15. It was at this gym called Diamonds of the Rough. My uncle and father was a trainer too. They was a boxing trainer. My father, he always look for the best. So if I knock a dude out, he want better than that. He want me to be like A. He say, how your performance look? I say, if I were to C, he said, I'm shooting for A. I want you to be at your best. I want you to be better than the next person. So whatever they do, I want you to do more.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay. I like that. I like that thinking and that the motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Yeah. Shoot for perfect. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how
exactly.
you're supposed to be. When any sport you doing, you don't settle for less. You
And
go
there's
for the
always
best.
room to improve.
Yes, it's always, you know. You look for your weakness and then you improve on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
Do you plan on coming after a title? in your
Yeah,
weight class?
yeah, most definitely. I'm planning on to take the title, become the best out here, and that's and part of being the best. You got to be a champion.
I love to see you be a champion.
Yeah,
I really
you got to
would.
be a champion. If anybody out there that once I become a champion, want to take it away from me, come take it. You know.
Okay. And you've been doing great the 3 fights that you had.
Yes,
You're 3-0 now.
Yes.
You're doing great. I would love to see you come after a title in the next like 60, 90 days.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Also, how often a week do you train?
I train almost almost every day. You know.
Every day?
Every day.
How many hours a day would you say?
Man, I don't like put it out there, but
Yeah.
I train some hours. Like
Okay.
when I say like 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
I train.
nice.
Yeah, so I really train. You know.
All right. And I'm glad that the ACF fans could get know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, I want that belt, and once
Yeah.
I get that belt, I will have it. If there's anybody out there that want to take that belt away from me to prove that they better than me, come
Step
take
up.
the belt. Step up and take the belt.
Okay.
And I'm out here to prove that I'm the best, and I'm showing it to you time and time again every time you see me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'd love to see you have the
Yeah,
title.
and that's what it's about. What the belt is about, proving that you're the best. And if there's anybody out there that can take it, come take it.
Come step up and take
Come
it.
step up and take it. Yeah.
All right. And that was the interview with ACF. Thank you all for watching.
What's up, ACF? We're here with Ride or Die with our interview after his pay-per-view fight.
Gang, gang.
So, Ride or Die, I know this was your first fight, but how did it feel to be in the ring?
It was at first like I made it up to be like this big thing in my head, and it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was much more, I don't want to say laid back, but it just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not as bad.
It's an experience, and I definitely would, want to, do it again. It's just, don't like overhype it in your head and be like, oh shit, it's not as big of a deal as it is.
Exactly, and it is a very fun sport.
Exactly.
I love it. I love the boxing, MMA, wrestling, grappling. It's a very, very fun sport.
Indeed.
And that was a very good fight between you and D. Do you think we will see a rematch later down the road between you two?
Actually, I would absolutely love to. I'd want to put in some more work because he was just quicker than I was. And then get my cardio up so I can actually have the endurance to do it. But I definitely I wouldn't mind going against them again. Definitely something I'd run back.
If he's down for it, would you be down to run it back in MMA?
I'd prefer to do MMA. I know D isn't MMA, but I prefer grappling and wrestling because I used to do it when I was younger, so I have more experience and feel more comfortable taking someone to the ground and maybe putting them in a submission or something like that as opposed to just standing.
Yeah, I can definitely talk to him about y'all running it back in MMA somewhere down the future. We kind of touched base on this in the last question. Actually, I'm gonna ask you a different question. What advice could you give someone who is interested in competing?
I honestly would just say train. If it's something you really want to do and want to be interested in, and it's something I kind of need to learn too. Is just you got to put in the time. You have to take time out of your schedule, out of work, out of social life, whatever it is, to be able to actually be like, hey, this is something that's important to me. You got to dedicate time to it. There's no other way around it. You have to put in the time to get the results you want.
Exactly. And what would you say to the new people that would want to come out about cardio? Should they definitely work on cardio?
Cardio is the most important thing out of any fighting. You can be the best fighter in the world if you have no cardio. You could hit a truck. But if someone can just like outmaneuver you and just outlast you, then I mean they're just gonna tire you down and they're gonna beat you. I mean, the cardio is literally everything in a fight. You have to be able to last, literally.
It is, and 6 minutes does not seem like it is a long time, but when you're in there fighting or you're in there boxing, 6 minutes is a pretty long time if you don't have any cardio.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend people working on cardio before they come out for their fight.
100%, man. All right, so we're gonna switch this interview over since you also had a pay-per-view fight against D. How do you think the fight went?
I think it went pretty well. I didn't have any training for it. I stepped in last minute. So I literally found out I was having the match the minute of the fight. So for no training, I think I did pretty well. I've been working on getting better, working on my cardio. My stance has gotten better. So overall, for the amount of time I had to prepare for it, I think I did pretty well for someone as experienced that I went up against.
Yeah, no, I agree. D's been doing personal training and boxing and stuff for years, so he's definitely a quite the opponent. Something I will say is, we've only seen you compete a handful of times. Maybe this is what, your third fight?
My third fight, yes.
Do you plan on having any further fights or any like fights in the future?
Yes, I do. I do plan on having another fight. I'm not sure if it's gonna be boxing or MMA, but I do plan on having another fight sometime the end of this year or beginning of 2022.
Good, man. That sounds really good. And then last and final question: how often do you train? How much time you put in a week?
I train about 2 to 3 days a week. About a couple hours a day.
That's about as expected as people can do. But I mean, not bad.
I've been working on my shadow boxing, working on combos. Like I said, my stance has gotten a lot better.
Combos and stance, I feel like are super important, and it's kind of under talked about. People just need to put the time in. Literally, if this is something you guys are serious about, put the time in. It's it sucks. You could do other things or whatnot, but if you really are interested in this and want to do this and be good at this, you have to put in the time. Just like with anything, just with like a job or career or degree, you physically have to put in the time to get the results you want.
And you do, and it's definitely worth it. It is definitely worth it if it's something that you're into.
100%.
All right, thank you, ACF.
See y'all next time.
Let's go.